If you don't ask a question, I'm leaving.
Coach, your first one of these as the head guy here at SEC Media Day. What's it been like?
It's great. I think it's awesome. I think, again, as I said earlier in the day, I think this validates why this is considered the best conference in the country. There's just unbelievable attention and passion for, obviously, football in the Southeast. It doesn't get any better than this, and this is a great this is just a great turnout. You know, the last 2 years, obviously, we did Big 12 Media Day, and it's really neat to see the two, and just a great venue, great day.
When you first hired, there was a lot of, I guess, what you would call negative energy, but I guess since then, there's been a lot of positive things, and as opposed to a Lane Kiffin or something. So my question is how have you kind of reacted to that? How have you kind of seen that as far as the way you're going about things in your first year as compared to others like Lane Kiffin or maybe Dan?
You know, I don't compare myself to other people, to be honest with you. You know, I have a direct, you know, I have a direct path that I follow, and it doesn't matter how anybody else follows their own path. That's up to them. So I know who I am, and I don't pay any attention to all the other things, and I know the path that we're going to follow, and we're not getting off that path. So I feel good about where we are right now with Auburn football. I'm excited that the fans are feeling the excitement of the whole deal, and that's kind of where we stand on it, you know. So I don't pay a lot of attention to the other stuff.
Let's talk about the opportunity. You touched on the SEC, the opportunity to be a head coach in the conference. Dan Mullen talked about it this week. How exciting is that?
Well, as I said earlier, there's 12 jobs in the SEC, and this is arguably the best league in the country. To be able to be a head coach in this league is as good as it gets, and even more directly, to be the head coach at Auburn is, for me personally, something that's just been great for myself and my family, and I feel very blessed. And I've got a lot of ties to Auburn. There's a lot of history with me and my coaching background with Auburn. And as I said earlier too, you know, the last memory I have was 2004 when we were undefeated. And in this league, that's really hard to do. So just feel really blessed to be back here. Really excited about getting going.
Your players talk about discipline with you. Your players talk about discipline with you. Is that something that's very important you want to bring to this program?
It is very important. I think it's important in anything you do in your life. And we talk about issues that don't just necessarily relate to football, but they relate to what you're going to do for all of your life when you get done. And so that's very important to me, because we want to make sure we impart on our players an idea of being successful when football's over. And so in my idea of things, I think that discipline becomes a huge part of who you are, what you do, all your life.
Please talk about Gus Malzahn and how would you describe him as a coach and an offensive mind?
I'll first start out by describing him as a great man. He's a great Christian man, and he believes in a lot of the same things that I do. And he's a great football coach. And I think over time, I think that's happened. He obviously philosophically is on the same page with me in terms of what we want to do. And we had many discussions about that before I actually hired him. And you know, he's going to be great for our program.
Tony Burns, how might he bring out the best in quarterback Tony Burns if he's your quarterback?
I think he's going to bring out the best in all of our quarterbacks. And you know, we've got a quarterback race that obviously is a point of question for everybody. And Gus will do a great job coaching those guys and get the best one ready to play for Auburn.
What do you take from your time at Iowa State, both good and bad, learning about being a head coach?
One thing is you know, when we started at Iowa State, we laid down a blueprint for what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. And to a large degree, you know, the patience that you have to have when you got to recruit your type of guy and you've got to bring in your mentality and things of that nature, certainly at Iowa State was going to take time. We played 11 true freshmen last year, and so it was kind of a period of time where we had to go through the growing pains to get where we felt like we needed to go, and we feel like it was on track without question. But I learned a lot as a head coach. It's a lot different now going from being a coordinator to being a head coach because of all the different obligations that aren't necessarily football related. And I needed to be able to have that period of time where I could do that. And I feel like my third year as a head coach, I'll be a lot better than I was my first. And it all is going to start with time management and just kind of how to handle all the peripheral issues, yet still be a football coach. And that's the challenge of being a head guy. And but hopefully I'm a much better coach my third year than I was my first year, and I think probably everybody can say that.